Good afternoon, I'm Rob Kemp, and you're listening to South Texas Midday. Thank you for joining me on this Tuesday, September 23rd. Corpus Christi City Council meets today after no meeting last week. Spencer Chioc has what to expect on today's agenda.
With just under 30 items listed on the agenda, the Corpus Christi City Council today will be approving a wide variety of city contracts, ranging from purchasing new traffic signal systems for 77 intersections to expanding the airport flight information display system to approving the city's Adobe licensing for graphics. A large number of water-related projects will also be voted on, including improvements to the London area wastewater system. For KEDT News, I'm Spencer Chioc.
Last week, interim Corpus Christi Water COO Nicholas Winkleman sent a memo to the mayor and city council. It included updates on various water supply projects. Last week, city staff met with state climatologist John Nielsen Gammons, who anticipated that the region will experience La Nina conditions this winter, which could decrease expected rain chances. Due to low inflows into Lake Corpus Christi, a level 1 water emergency could be in effect by November 2026. The San Patricio Municipal Water District has asked the city of Corpus Christi to transfer permits for the proposed La Quinta desalination project. Brian Williams, general manager of the San Pat Water District, told KIII News that Corpus Christi is their only water source, and that's why the district hopes the city will allow them to take over the project. Williams said the district has worked with Corpus Christi on the desal plant for nearly a decade, but after Corpus Christi recently voted not to move forward with its Inner Harbor desal project, there's concern that La Quinta might be a similar story.
There's been a lot of work done preparing for the water rights and the discharge permit for the La Quinta facility. It seemed like the city might not move forward with the La Quinta permit based on the recent occurrence at the city. So we just wanted to pursue an option that might be available to us, make the most of the circumstances.
Corpus Christi City Manager Peter Zanoni told KIII the city applied for 2 permits tied to La Quinta about 5 years ago. Of the 2, the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality has approved the intake permit. The discharge permit remains pending. Meanwhile, Mathis City Council has voted to move forward with plans to drill 2 new water wells, which will help secure the city's future water supply. City officials told KIII News they have applied to the Texas Water Development Board for assistance to fund the wells, which are expected to reach depths of 600 to 900 feet. Engineers had assured council members the new wells would not interfere with existing local wells that draw from a shallower aquifer. Residents in Gregory, Portland, and the greater San Pat County are having trouble getting a lift from South Texas rideshare group Real, and that's because of a recent census adjustment. The area went from a rural designation to urban. The census reclassification went into effect earlier this month, meaning residents who previously relied on these transit services are now cut off. Gregory Mayor Estella Boyes told KIII News there will be a virtual meeting next week with community leaders, including the county judge, commissioners, and transit partners to discuss how to better serve the community on the issue. Texas's sea turtle nesting season has officially ended, and conservationists have announced a new record for Kemp's ridley nests along the Texas coast. The Amos Rehabilitation Keep in Port Aransas announced that 449 Kemp's ridley nests were found along the state coast this season. The number surpasses last year's total by about 100 nests. The Kemp's ridley is both the state's official sea turtle and the most critically endangered species in the world. On Padre Island, ARC's Turtle Patrol also set a local record documenting 50 nests. ARC leaders and patrollers encourage the community to report any nesting, stranded, or injured turtles by calling their hotline at 1-866-887-8535. The U.S. Department of Agriculture says Mexico has confirmed a new case of New World screwworm in a city less than 70 miles from the Texas-Mexico border. Texas Public Radio's Maria Navarro has more.
The case was identified in Sabinas, Hidalgo, in the Mexican border state of Nuevo León. It's located near a major highway that connects to a heavily trafficked commercial route in Laredo, Texas. The U.S. Department of Agriculture says this is now the northernmost detection of the screwworm. The flesh-eating larval parasite is considered a threat to livestock, pets, and wildlife. U.S. ports remain closed to imports of cattle, bison, and horses from Mexico. The agency announced it's investing millions into Texas facilities to produce and disperse sterile New World screwworm flies. I'm Maria Navarro in San Antonio.
Researchers hope data out of Texas will raise awareness about a type of infection commonly spread through kissing bugs. KERA's Abigail Ruman reports it's part of an effort to recognize Chagas disease as endemic in the U.S.
Endemic means that a disease is usually present in a community in a consistent manner. The U.S. doesn't have standardized surveillance of Chagas, and that can make its presence difficult to study. But Texas is one of just 8 states that document cases. Sarah Hamer is an epidemiologist at Texas A&M University. She says Texas data includes if the transmission occurred locally.
We were able to show this kind of constant expected presence of these locally acquired cases, albeit at a low level, but it's here.
Hamer says changing the status could increase awareness among doctors and veterinarians and could lead to more data and research. I'm Abigail Ruman in Dallas.
Flu season typically runs October through April. Washing your hands thoroughly and often, avoiding people who are sick, and wearing a mask can help, but the flu vaccine is considered the most effective weapon against the virus. In today's Vital Signs, Texas Health Plano family physician Dr. Natalia Gutierrez talks with KERA's Sam Baker about this year's vaccine.
This year, we have 3 main strains that are going to be covered by the flu vaccine. They're called H1N1, H3N2, and B1. This is a whole different new vaccine that we have this year. You have kind of the same dose from 6 months to about 64 years, and then you have a high dose for 65 and over. We have the Flu Mist Back, which is the nasal spray, and that's only from 2 to 49 years of age.
The flu mist, how effective is that as compared to the actual shot?
The flu mist seems to be doing well this year, but it does have restrictions. Like you can't get it if you have asthma, you can't get it if you're immunosuppressed because it's a spray. It also has a different formulation in it and how it's made. So the flu mist is a little different, but flu shots, anybody can get it for 6 months and up.
Does the flu shot prevent you from getting the flu, period? Or is it kind of like the COVID-19 vaccine? It minimizes the impact of it should you get the virus?
Both vaccines actually can prevent you from getting the infection, and both vaccines can minimize the effects of the infections, but they're not 100%. Flu is probably between 30 and 60%. So that means if we have a convention and there's 100 people there and it's 100% vaccinated, over half of them will be protected if we expose them. But what happens if you do get the flu and you have the flu shot? So what we do see is that the people that make it in the hospital and the people that die from flu, most of them were not vaccinated. So it does decreases your chances of death and hospitalizations and complications. We did have a new condition that they've been studying the last couple of years. That's called necrotizing encephalitis, which is pretty serious. And what they did realize is that most of the kids that got this, most of them were not vaccinated. So if you grab all the kids that died from the flu in the last season, 90% of them were not vaccinated. So it does protect quite a bit. So even if you still get the flu and you're vaccinated, it still improves your chances of not being as sick, of not being in the hospital, of not missing as many work days. So the flu shot is very, very important for all of us.
Do people have the right idea about flu? I think there's still a tendency of some to think, well, you flu, you get rest, you stay hydrated, you get over it, it's done.
This year, we had the highest hospital admissions in the last 15 years. We had 610,000 people hospitalized. 27,000 people died from the flu. So it is true that some people get the flu and don't get super sick. But January, February, the beginning of March, we were running like crazy here, taking care of everybody. It was really overwhelming how many flu cases we had this year. The other thing that's a misconception is that if you have flu or you have influenza illness, that you don't need to get the shot. It's still important that you get the shot, even if you've been sick, because you can still get influenza more than one time in the season.
Is now the time to get the shot?
So flu season more or less goes from September to March. So we start vaccinating in September, and we start seeing an uptick in cases probably as Halloween passed and then Thanksgiving passed. So right after that, we start seeing all these cases start popping up. So I personally get it either end of September, beginning of October. A lot of my patients are already getting it, and it makes me very happy when I come in and I get all these immunization notifications. It makes my heart full.
Dr. Natalia Gutierrez is a family medicine physician with Texas Health Plano and with Texas Health Physicians Group. And Corey Ray, aka Mama Duke, a musical artist from Palacios, has advanced to the top 10 on America's Got Talent. She will compete in tonight's finale. The musical artist's career involves producing and writing music across various genres, including rap and Tejano. Mama Duke has built a community focused on positivity and representation, emphasizing authenticity and promoting positive body image. She told 25 News Now that her participation on America's Got Talent brought her increased visibility and opportunities.
I will always say rap music got me here. But, being from Palacios, it's like there wasn't anybody doing this stuff. And so moving to a bigger city and finding pop music and finding out that I love writing country records, Tejano records, I love writing music.
You can watch tonight's finale of America's Got Talent at 9 p.m. on NBC and Peacock. And that is the latest news and information on South Texas Midday. If you missed any stories from today's episode, you can check out this and previous episodes of South Texas Midday wherever you get your podcast. I'm Rob Boskamp. Your community arts calendar and more is on the way.